Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Today we're diving into the world of crypto again.
Back in the waters.
Exactly. And it seems like things are going to get even more interesting with Ripple's new stablecoin, set to launch tomorrow.
Big news.
RLUSD, it's called.
Okay.
So today we'll be taking a look at what this means for crypto and, maybe even beyond.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we found a really good article from Crypto Noticias, which is a Latin American crypto news site.
Interesting.
Yeah, it should give us some good insight. So let's jump right in. So what is RLUSD?
Well, it's a stable coin, pegged to the US dollar.
Okay, aiming to stay at that $1 value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The goal is to always be worth $1.
So how does it actually achieve that stability, though?
So the interesting part is how they're going about it. RLUSD is backed by a reserve
Oh, okay.
of US dollar deposits, US government bonds,
I see.
and some cash equivalents.
Makes sense, like a safety net,
Yeah.
protecting against all that crypto volatility.
Is that smart? But, how can we be sure those reserves are actually there?
Yeah,
I mean, transparency has always been a bit of an issue with stablecoins, in the past.
absolutely. And that's where Ripple's commitment to these monthly audits
Right.
comes in third-party audits of these
Yeah.
assets.
Okay. That is definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think it's a big step towards addressing, those concerns.
Building trust.
For sure.
Yeah, transparency is so key. So it's launching tomorrow, December 17th.
That's right.
Where's it going to be available, though?
So
Is it just for institutions, or can, everyday people get in on this, too?
it's going to be listed on a few exchanges initially.
Oh, okay.
You've got Uphold Bitso and CoinMena
Mhm.
to start.
Got it.
And the article kind of hints that, bigger names might join the party soon.
Oh, like who?
They mentioned Bitstamp Mercado Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, could be interesting.
Yeah, so it'll be available to individuals as well.
Third-party
Absolutely,
audits
not just
conducted
for
by an
us.
independent
That's
audit.
good. I think this feels bigger than just another stablecoin launch, though.
Yeah. Why is this such a strategic move for Ripple?
Well, Ripple, we know them for XRP.
Right, and their banking solutions.
Right. This launch, though,
Yeah.
takes them into a whole new area,
Okay.
the stablecoin market.
Interesting.
Puts them in direct competition with the
Sweet
big guys, Tether and Circle.
The heavyweights.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a bold move, but why is this such a big deal for the crypto world? What makes RLUSD potentially, game-changing?
I think the potential here is huge.
Okay.
RLUSD, it could really revolutionize cross-border payments,
Oh, wow.
make them faster and cheaper, more
Wow.
efficient for businesses and individuals.
So, imagine sending money across the world instantly
Exactly.
without those crazy fees
Yeah, exactly.
that banks charge.
That we're all used to, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good argument for sure. But if it actually delivers on all these promises,
Right.
what could this mean for the other stablecoins out there?
Well,
Could we see a shift in market dominance?
Yeah.
It's definitely a possibility. RLUSD, it's entering the market, with a strong focus on that transparency and compliance.
Right.
And that could, force those other stablecoin issuers to up their game if they want to stay competitive.
So it's not just about a new stable coin.
Right.
It's about changing the entire landscape.
Yeah, reshaping it.
Potentially. Yeah.
And this could even go beyond crypto.
Yeah.
What if, this model becomes the gold standard
Okay.
for stablecoins in the future?
Uh-huh.
Could it even change how we think about money in general?
Now that's really interesting territory.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered what it is, where it's going to be available, why it could be so disruptive.
Right.
But there's one more thing I'm really curious about.
Okay.
The price of XRP, it surged after this announcement.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
I think the market sees this as a really positive move for Ripple.
Okay.
If RLUSD is successful, it could mean a brighter future for XRP.
Yeah, and that would lead to more investor confidence. So it's almost like a vote of confidence, not just in RLUSD,
Yeah.
but in Ripple's whole strategy.
I think that's a great way to put it. And it brings us to another interesting point.
Okay.
They formed a special advisory council for RLUSD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it includes some big names.
Like who?
Well, they've got a former governor of the Reserve Bank of India
Wow.
and a former COO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston.
Okay, that's an impressive lineup. What are they going to do?
So they'll be providing guidance and expertise,
Got it.
helping ensure RLUSD is stable and grows responsibly.
Okay.
I think their involvement really adds a lot of credibility to this whole project.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like Ripple's really going all out for this launch.
Yeah.
But what does this focus on all this regulation and compliance mean for RLUSD?
So Ripple is aiming for approval under the New York Limited Purpose Trust Company Charter.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah, and it's known for its very strict regulatory standards.
Yeah, so this isn't just about innovation. It's about setting a new bar for trust and stability in the crypto world.
Exactly. This charter adds a lot of legitimacy
Correct.
to RLUSD. It's Ripple's way of saying,
Yeah.
look, we're serious about playing by the rules and creating a stable coin that people can actually trust.
We've covered a lot here,
We have.
but it feels like we're only just scratching the surface of RLUSD's potential impact.
Yeah, I think so.
What are some of the bigger implications we should be considering?
That's a great question, and it's exactly what we'll be diving into next.
Okay, so we've established that Ripple's making a bold move into this stablecoin market.
It is bold.
But what are the wider implications here?
Right.
We touched on the potential impact on the financial landscape, but could you expand on that?
Yeah, you know what's really fascinating is the potential for disruption here.
Okay.
Imagine a world where international payments
Yeah.
are as easy and instant as sending like a text message.
That's the promise of these stablecoins like RLUSD. It's definitely a compelling vision, but wouldn't that threaten the whole,
Yep.
established financial system?
Potentially.
What would it mean for traditional banks and institutions?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
I think we could see a fork in the road here.
Okay.
Some institutions, they might embrace these new technologies,
Yeah.
integrate them into their existing systems to offer faster and cheaper services.
Okay. And the others?
The others might resist,
Okay.
cling to those traditional models, and risk being left behind
Yeah.
as the world evolves around them.
So the launch of RLUSD isn't just about Ripple.
Right.
It's a challenge to the whole industry.
Absolutely.
Adapt or die, basically.
Innovate or become obsolete.
Right, exactly. And it's not just about institutions either.
No, you're right.
Think about the individual user.
Yeah.
What if sending money across borders became as easy as sending an email?
Exactly.
RLUSD could revolutionize remittances,
As
make it cheaper and faster
for sure.
for migrant workers to send money back home.
Yeah, that would be a game changer for so many people
Millions of people.
worldwide.
And it goes beyond just remittances, too.
Right.
Imagine the impact on global trade.
Oh, yeah.
Businesses could settle transactions instantly.
With stable coins, yeah.
Yeah, this could really reduce the costs and complexities
Absolutely.
of international commerce.
It would streamline things considerably.
We're talking about like a paradigm shift in
Yeah.
how money moves around the world.
A big deal.
But let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
There have to be some challenges and risks
I'm not-
associated with this level of disruption.
For sure. I think one of the biggest hurdles is the regulatory uncertainty.
Okay.
The rules surrounding stablecoins, they're still evolving.
Right. They're not set in stone.
Exactly.
Mm,
And this lack of clarity can make businesses and individuals hesitate.
makes sense. And navigating that regulatory landscape. I mean, It must be tricky, especially because crypto's so global.
It's different countries have different approaches,
Right.
and that patchwork of rules
Yeah.
can be a major obstacle.
To wider adoption.
Exactly.
So RLUSD going for that New York Trust Charter,
Yeah.
that could be a big step.
It could be a precedent
Yeah.
for the whole industry.
By aiming for that high standard of compliance.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, look, we're willing to play by the rules.
Right.
We want to build something that's transparent and secure and trustworthy.
It's a gamble, though, isn't it?
It is, in a way.
Choosing to embrace regulation.
Yeah, it could slow down innovation,
Yeah, or limit its flexibility.
potentially. But I think they're betting on the long-term benefits here,
Okay.
that the regulatory clarity is worth it.
Yeah, it's a calculated risk for sure. What about the risks for the individual user, though?
Yeah.
We talked about the potential benefits, but what should people be wary of?
One thing is security of their funds.
Okay.
It's important to choose exchanges and wallets that are reputable.
So do your research?
Yeah, absolutely. And, as with any investment, diversification's key.
Right. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
So do your research, choose your platforms carefully, and spread that risk?
It's good advice for any investment, really.
Yeah, that's true. It's easy to get caught up in all the hype.
Absolutely.
But you got to approach this space with a level head and a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've explored the potential of RLUSD to, disrupt traditional finance,
Right.
revolutionize international payments, empower individuals.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? What are the things to watch for?
Well, it launches tomorrow.
Right.
So keep an eye on that initial adoption rate.
Okay.
How quickly does it gain traction on exchanges?
Yeah.
Does it attract individuals and institutions?
Right.
That early adoption will be a key indicator, I think.
And what about the response from the other players in the market?
Yeah, how do Tether and Circle and the others react?
Yeah.
Do they try to match Ripple's transparency and compliance?
Yeah.
Or do they stick with their current strategies?
And let's not forget the regulatory landscape.
Of course.
Will other places follow New York's lead?
Right.
Or will we see a more fragmented approach?
Yeah, it's a good question. It feels like we're at a crossroads here.
It does.
The decisions made in the next few months could really impact the future.
Absolutely, of stablecoins and crypto in general.
Yeah, it's not just about watching Ripple.
Right.
It's about watching the whole ecosystem
The whole space, yeah.
to see how it evolves
In response to this new player,
to RLUSD, exactly. And we also need to keep an eye on the regulatory landscape.
we do for sure.
Yeah. Will other jurisdictions follow New York's lead and establish clear rules, or will we see a more uncertain environment emerge?
Yeah, that's the big question.
It feels like we're at a crossroads.
It does feel that way
Yeah, the decisions made in these coming months could have a big impact.
on the future of stablecoins, yeah.
And the broader crypto world.
Absolutely, and we haven't even touched on the potential impact on XRP. Oh, that's true.
Will the success of RLUSD translate into more demand for Ripple's cryptocurrency?
That's a question for another deep dive, perhaps.
Maybe another time.
We've covered a lot today,
We have.
but it's clear that this story's just getting started.
It is for sure.
We've explored the potential, the challenges, the uncertainties.
Right.
But the most important question is, what does this all mean for you?
Yeah, for the listener.
That's a great point. We've been looking at this from a macro perspective,
Right.
but ultimately it's about how these developments could impact your financial life. We've been talking about all this potential for RLUSD,
Yeah.
to really shake things up.
Big changes.
But let's bring it back down to earth for a minute.
Okay.
What practical advice would you give our listeners as they try to navigate this crazy landscape?
I think it comes down to informed engagement.
All right.
You can't just sit back and watch
Right.
this new world of finance. It requires us to actually participate.
So it's not about just blindly jumping into crypto
Right.
or dismissing it completely.
Exactly. Find that middle ground.
Yeah.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
Understand the benefits and the risks.
Great.
And then make informed decisions that align with your own goals.
So basically, don't just follow the hype.
Yeah, do your own research.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's always good advice.
If something sounds too good to be true,
Yeah.
it probably is.
Right.
The crypto space, it's full of opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's also full of scams
Oh, yeah.
and risky ventures.
So a healthy dose of skepticism is key.
Absolutely. But don't let that skepticism paralyze you.
Okay.
This is a really exciting time to be involved in finance.
Yeah.
We're seeing these new technologies emerge
Yeah.
that could really empower individuals
Right.
and create a more inclusive system.
That brings us back to RLUSD. It
Yeah.
launches tomorrow.
That's right.
What should our listeners be watching for as this unfolds?
Okay, well, first, keep an eye on those early adoption rates. How quickly does it gain traction on exchanges?
Yeah. Does it attract both individuals and institutions?
Exactly. I think early adoption will be a big indicator of its success.
And how about the response from the other players in the stablecoin market?
Yeah, how do Tether Circle
Right. The big ones?
and the others react to this?
Do they see RLUSD as a threat?
Yeah. Do they try to match Ripple's transparency? Or do they just stick with their current strategies?
Interesting. And of course, we can't forget about the regulatory landscape.
Definitely not.
Will other jurisdictions follow New York's lead?
Right. Will we see a more fragmented approach?
Yeah, big questions.
Yeah, the next few months will be very telling.
For sure.
We'll be here to help you make sense of it all.
This has been a really deep dive. We've explored, the technical details, the potential impact.
The philosophy even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay. I like it.
This is more than just a story about a new cryptocurrency.
It is.
It's about the evolution of money itself.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries, we've relied on these central authorities.
Yeah.
Governments, banks,
Right.
to control our money. But these new technologies like blockchain and stablecoins,
Yeah.
they offer an alternative,
Good.
a decentralized system where trust isn't built on institutions,
I see.
but on cryptography and consensus.
Interesting. So RLUSD is part of this bigger movement,
Yeah, challenging the old way of doing things.
challenging the establishment.
Exactly, and the outcome is uncertain.
It is. We don't know.
Will stablecoins like RLUSD be absorbed into the existing system,
Right.
or will they disrupt it entirely?
Good question.
Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The future of finance is being written right now,
Yeah.
and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
We do stay informed,
Yeah,
stay engaged,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to question those old assumptions.
I like it.
The possibilities are limitless.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Yeah, thanks for having me.
into the world of Ripple and stablecoins.
Always a pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful.
Yeah, thought-provoking.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.